You did something that most people talk about but never actually do. You saved money. £1,000 or dollars sitting in your account right now. That is a real achievement and you should feel genuinely proud of it. But now you are facing a question that surprisingly few personal finance guides answer clearly. What do you actually do with it? Put it in a savings account? Start investing? Pay off a debt? Celebrate? The decision you make with your first thousand has an outsized impact on your financial trajectory. Make the right call here and you build momentum. Make the wrong one and the money disappears before it ever had a chance to work for you. Let us make sure you get this right. When people hit their first significant savings milestone, there are three very common mistakes. The first is celebrating by spending a meaningful chunk of it, treating it as a reward fund rather than a foundation. The second is leaving it sitting in a low or zero interest current account for months or years without a clear purpose. And the third, and surprisingly common, is immediately jumping into investments before the financial basics are properly sorted. All three feel logical in the moment. All three can significantly reduce the value of what you have worked hard to save. The order you do things matters enormously. Let us walk through the rote sequence. The very first question to ask yourself when you have 1,000 saved is this: do you currently carry any high-interest debt? Credit cards, charging 15% or more. Buy now, pay later balances, accumulating fees. An overdraft that costs you money every month. If the answer is yes, your first 1,000 should go there before anywhere else. Here is the maths that makes this non-negotiable. Paying off a credit card charging 25% interest is the financial equivalent of earning a guaranteed 25% return on your money. No savings account, no investment fund, no opportunity available to ordinary investors consistently delivers that. Eliminate the expensive debt first, then build from a clean foundation. If you are debt-free, congratulations. Genuinely, your first 1,000 becomes something just as important as debt repayment. It becomes your starter emergency fund. This is the financial buffer that stands between you and a crisis every time something unexpected happens. Car breaks down unexpectedly, boiler stops working in winter, dental emergency, unexpected redundancy. Without a buffer, every one of these events forces you to reach for a credit card or borrow money, adding debt at exactly the worst moment. With a buffer, you handle it, you recover, and you move on. £1,000 or dollars will not cover every emergency, but it breaks the cycle of debt that follows most people through every unexpected expense for years. Where you keep your emergency fund matters more than most people realize. It needs to be accessible, not locked away in a long-term investment or a fixed-rate account with penalties for early withdrawal. But it also needs to be genuinely separate from your everyday spending money. The same account you use for groceries and nights out is not a safe home for emergency savings. Open a separate account, ideally at a different bank from your main account. Give it a name that reinforces its purpose: emergency only, do not touch, freedom fund. The slight inconvenience of transferring money between banks creates just enough friction to stop it being spent on non-emergencies. That friction is your friend. Your first 1,000 is not your destination, it is your starting point. The target for a genuine emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. For most people, that means building toward £3,000 to £10,000 or dollars depending on your cost of living and job stability. That number can feel overwhelming from where you are now, which is exactly why you break it into milestones. 1,000 first, then 2, then 5. Automate a fixed amount every payday, even £25 or dollars a week, and let this system do the work while you live your life. $1,300 a year from 25 weekly. That is meaningful progress, compounding quietly in the background. Once your emergency fund is solid and you are carrying no high-interest debt, that is the moment investing enters the picture, not before. Think of it this way. Investing without an emergency fund is like building on sand. The first financial earthquake, job loss, major repair, health issue, forces you to sell investments, potentially at a loss, to cover costs. But investing with a buffer underneath it? Now your investments can stay invested long enough for the compound growth to actually materialize. The sequence is not optional. Emergency fund and debt clearance first. Then, and only then, does the exciting conversation about building wealth through investing begin. Here is your complete action plan for your first 1,000. Step 1. Check for high-interest debt above 10 or 15%. If you have it, clear it first. That is the highest returning financial move available to you. Step 2. If you are debt-free, move your 1,000 into a separate named emergency fund account at a different bank. Step 3. Continue building that fund until you reach 3 months of essential expenses. Step 4. Once the fund is solid, open a tax-advantaged investment account, ISA in the UK, Roth IRA, or 401k in the US, TFSA in Canada. You already did the hardest part when you saved the first 1,000. Now protect it and build on it. Subscribe to MoneyPatch. Small steps, big change.